What's up, everyone? Sorry, guys. What's up, everyone? I'm having issues today, guys. What's up, everyone? It's your girl Rossie, and I'm back with another awesome show, you guys. This show I've been working on for some time. If you guys remember, DJ Colleen Shannon, the beautiful DJ Colleen Shannon, was so nice and thoughtful, helping me out with this podcast and letting me know about some greats in Sacramento because she is from Placerville, I believe, Placer County, actually. Anyway, she was telling me about this great artist. His name is Lantz Lazwell, and he's doing amazing things. And I can hook you up with him. I went and checked him out and was like, oh, yes, please, you got to help me get him on the show. I've been wanting someone that has been in this music business for a long time. I wanted a band. I wanted someone that was doing live music and just a little bit of everything. And I found that with Lantz Lazwell. I'm sure you all know him, and I want you to meet him, though, if you don't know him, okay? Sacramento, you guys, stand up. Hello, Mr. Laswell.
What's happening, everybody?
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Very good, very good. So Sacramento, right? Sacramento, would you say?
I'm in the foothills. I'm out here in
Okay,
Coloma next to the American River right now.
beautiful.
Yeah, this is where I grew up. This is where I was in Los Angeles for a little over a decade, but I moved back up to my roots, right around when the COVID pandemic thing all hit.
Okay,
So I came back up here and hang out with be around family and stuff.
okay. Now, first of all, I want to talk. So Lance was he had a band. Okay. So it was formerly Lantz Lazwell and the Vibe Tribe. And so you guys know that was in LA though. We were talking about it. And that was your group in LA. Was that the bass group that you were with, your first
Yeah,
band?
that started in LA.
Okay.
With some of the cats there that are still really good friends of mine.
Okay.
Great players out there, really good community. I fell into a great group of people when I moved down there, and got to playing music with a bunch of them. A lot of great musicians, a lot of great rappers, a lot of great artists. We're all kind of down in like that West Side, Venice Beach
Okay.
area,
Okay.
which is where I kind of first landed down there.
So growing up, what music influenced you growing up, and I'll even say like influenced you and made you want to like get into music?
I mean, I'm a third generation musician,
Okay.
so I
Wow.
guess like music's been a part of my life ever since I can remember, to the point to where my parents told a story that like before I could even like really talk, they were coming into the room where my crib was, and I would be kind of like trying to sing a song that was off the radio, and they actually said the first song that they could legibly understand I was trying to mimic was like Sir Duke from Stevie Wonder. So I guess
Really?
they came in and I was like da 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 da
Love
da
it.
da da.
I love
And they're
that.
like,
And
oh, that he's singing Sir Duke.
so, like,
So
now, both mom and dad were musicians.
yeah, my dad more so. My
Okay.
mother's father is a professional piano player through and through his whole life. He's still in his 90s and still performing in jazz bands and still teaches piano and still tunes pianos.
Wow.
So
Wow.
he he's music his whole life. And
Okay.
my dad did a lot of music theater. Growing up, I was going and seeing his shows when I was like 6, 7 years old, being like one of the youngest kids in the front row, just totally and I was able to like really pay attention, not make a scene, knew how to just like play it cool when I was pretty young kid. I was already able to like understand arts and
Nice.
give respect to it.
Nice. Yeah, I grew up in a family. We listened to music. I mean, music was my mother loved music, and it was a part of our house on the street was the house where you would hear all types of music. I mean, my dad loved George Clinton. He loved he went to the concerts, and my mom loved the OJs, and so I grew up with a lot of that music. There's Aretha Franklin's, Barbara Streisand, was played in our household a lot. Our door would be open. I remember the neighbors would be very upset because we grew up in it was mainly like an all white neighborhood. So, you know, so, they
Well,
didn't understand they didn't understand, and they'd be, kind of complaining and whatnot. And then they'd come over sometimes and sit with my mom, and she'd introduce them to like Jeffrey Osborne and just all the greats that were really huge around that time. So I loved music. Unfortunately, couldn't sing, but knew I wanted to do something in the entertainment industry. With you and the music that you play, I do want to say, you guys, so his music is kind of, you described it on your Spotify as, let's see, funky, bluesy, rock and roll. And I absolutely do feel that when you guys listen to his music, if you haven't, you definitely get that vibe. I do want to talk about, though, the new record. It's killing it everywhere. And I think the song is called, isn't it called Killing It with George Clinton? And can you tell
correct.
me,
Yes.
yeah, I saw the song on Instagram. I saw the visual first, and it's one of those where the colors, it gets you. You see George Clinton, you see you. I go to the video, and the video is just, I played it so many times. It's an awesome video. I love the concept. How did that come about? You work with legends. You are a legend. Tell me about that, please.
Well, I got a chance to work with George Clinton through a different project that I was in with my former ex-girlfriend Kim Manning. We had a band called Wanderlust, and she at the time was also a singer for Parliament Funkadelic with George Clinton's,
Wow.
touring with George Clinton. So we got the opportunity to be the opening act on a bunch of shows throughout the nation. So we
Right.
traveled, a bunch with them, and I got to know a lot of the band through not only doing some touring with them, but also traveling with Kim on a bunch of shows and stuff like
Wow.
that, and just being around the whole P Funk family
Right.
for a couple years.
Right.
And it was a life-changing experience to say the least. I got taken under the wing of several different members, um, and just taught so much through
Wow.
working with all of them. And it got to the point where when we were performing with them and opening for them, it was like half of the band was performing with us, and then just staying on stage and going up with George. Even George came out and played a few songs with us.
Wow.
While as us being the opening band, and having George come out and kind of like play some songs with us was a big deal, because he doesn't even
Right.
usually come out till half the show of P Funk. He doesn't even come out for their first few songs. So getting him to come out that early was like a big deal. That was a him really saying that he was into what we were doing.
Right, right. How does that feel when a legend like him, who's been around for, I mean, forever, forever, and consistently influencing people that I listen to, the Snoop Dogs we were talking about when the G Funk era started, it was from George Clinton basically, and how we sampled his music, and being near someone like that, a legend. How does that feel as an artist?
I mean, I truly feel grateful for every moment I get to spend with each one of those legendary artists
Right,
that we've talked about.
right,
And you know, Gary Scheider, George Clinton, all those guys, being around them was just like hard to wrap my brain around sometimes,
right,
because it's like these were people that I grew up listening to when I was a kid. Like I remember some of my first like psychedelic trips and listening to P Funk and just seeing like
right,
crazy flames coming out, shooting out of the stereo, because the music was just so wild and crazy. And it was just
right,
like experiencing that music, as a developing brain, and understanding
right,
music for the first time was just an incredible experience I'll never forget. and being able to actually meet the people that made those songs and sang on those records, it's definitely been a huge impact on me, and it's definitely made me who I am, today.
Right. So when you started music, did you know that you wanted to be in a band, or did you want to be like solo? And how did you run into like the bluesy and wanted to combine blues, funk, rock? Like how did that concept work for you?
Um, I guess maybe I didn't realize from the get go, because I've been playing music from such an early age that I wanted to be in a band. But the minute that I did play in a band, I think I realized, oh, this is what I wanted to do.
Okay.
And just the fact of like being in a group with people that are all pushing towards the same idea to create this just amazing sound that's gonna,
Right.
make everybody happy and dance, or however you want them to feel. Sometimes they're gonna cry,
Right.
but we're all together on that feeling, and that ball of energy that's combined is like something that can't really be created any other way.
I get that. I talk to a lot of artists, and I'm always asking them, um, what's your ritual for creating your music, writing your music? But I've never talked to someone that creates their music by, instruments, guitars, pianos, bring it like that's a whole nother level. I feel to making music besides writing the music. What's your ritual for you? Do you guys get together and come up with the songs? Like, how does that work in a band? As because you're the leader of the band, you're the front man. So I feel like a lot would maybe be on your shoulders. But how do you come about the songs and go about writing for you?
So, a lot of times I come up with an idea, um, prior to bringing it to the band,
Okay.
and then we run with the idea. But there's also been co-writes too that I've done.
Okay.
I'm also been a part of a music festival that's basically just all about like co-writing, and it's
Okay.
called Steelbridge Song Fest, uh, out of Steelbridge. I'm sorry, out of Wisconsin. Um, Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin, is where the festival took place for many years. They don't have it anymore happening. I think they're doing like a concert this year for it, but not the actual
Okay.
festival where everybody gets together and writes. They're just going to kind of do like a little concert. But
Right.
it used to be where 50, 60 writers got together for a whole week and spent
Wow.
the whole week in a hotel together, just kind of writing music amongst each other. And it
Wow.
was randomly picked. The groups were randomly picked each day, so that you wrote with like 3 different people every day for the whole
Wow.
week you're there. And so that helped me grow a lot as a songwriter and grow a lot as a collaborator.
Okay.
And I also, still to this day sometimes will pull from some of that music that was written out there,
Okay.
whether whether it's the whole song or whether it's just maybe an idea from a chorus that was written out there and then develop something else.
Right.
um yeah, that was like
You're
a momentous event in my songwriting career, and has definitely helped shape me in such a versatile writer, because you
right.
never know who you're going to be combined with. If they're going to be into bluegrass, or they're going to be into jazz, or they're going to, and you still find a way to create a song together.
Right.
And going back to like what you're saying about my about me being eclectic and
Yeah.
the type of music that we do, I think that just is a process of me loving music and me just never saying no to creating different styles and expanding my style, so to speak.
Are you a fan of all music? Are you one of those music lovers where you can listen to hip hop, you can listen to country, you can listen to are you
100%.
that type?
100%. 100%. I mean, I can find, and there's stuff, obviously, like there's stuff, a lot of country I don't like, and there's a lot of hip hop I
Right.
don't like, but I'm
Right,
gonna
right.
find, I'm always gonna find a person that I respect in that genre that's really putting their passion into it, and that's what I respect out of people is creativity, passion, and pushing boundaries.
Right.
Is what really like makes me like twerks my ear, makes me go, whoa,
Okay.
what's that?
For people that don't know your music, when you play, what do you want people to feel? Like, what kind of emotions do you want people to get from your music? Because I've seen your live shows. I went, you guys, and everything about Lantz Lazwell will be in the description of the video, so you can go to his YouTube, you can go to his website, you can see the videos that we're all talking about right now, and a lot of the people that he played with. But um, your live shows. I'm not there, but I mean, I watched them. Very energetic. You're like in your own world, and your audience. I mean, the audience is going wild, going crazy. People are dancing. It's a good time.
Yeah,
Obviously, I got that, but go ahead,
we
speak
we
on
like
that.
to we like to create a fun party. I think is the it's fun. It's funny because I have like some ballad songs too. But I think that
Yes.
when we do play it live, that we tend to shy away from the slower songs and like to kind of keep the party going, so to speak, and it's fun to have people dancing and it's fun to have people letting loose. And I think it's beyond like physically good for you. It's mentally
Yes.
good for you
Yes.
to release like that.
Yes.
And it's not only exercise for your body, it's exercise for your mind. It's just, I think it's something people don't get enough of.
Right.
And I know for a fact that people are thankful for that experience because that's
Oh
what they
yes.
that's what we get constantly told at the
Right.
end of our shows.
Nice.
So
Nice. I love that. I do
we
want to mention,
definitely
you
like to
guys.
create a
Go ahead.
fun, exciting, joyous experience.
Yeah, I definitely see that, and in every show I've watched of yours, I definitely have. I get that vibe from your show. I do want to mention to you guys. Besides George Clinton, we have Bernie Warhol from Talking Heads. Love the Talking Heads. Stephen Perkins, Jane's Addiction, Angela Moore, and Norwood Fisher, Fishbone, and the Neville Brothers are just to speak of a few that Lance have worked with or been on stage with. So I wanted you guys to know that the album that I'm talking about, though, the clockwise, counterclockwise, it features George Clinton, Stephen Perkins, Norwood Fisher, and Eric McFadden. That's a song that you guys will be able to link up in the video. It's called "Killing It." Make sure you watch the visual. It's an awesome song, and the visual. Who came up with the concept of the video, though?
So I saw this guy. It was a VJ and a DJ, and it was clear. I saw him DJing, and it was clear to me that somebody had made these visuals that were behind him, had tailored them to the song that he was playing. And I went up and I talked to him afterwards, and his name was Mac Maculate, and we actually had a bunch of friends in common. Some of my friends were actually producing the event that I met him at, and then we had other mutual friends as well. And I just immediately knew I wanted to work with him, and then it just dawned on me, like maybe a week later, just like, okay, I know exactly what I want to do with this guy. I want to do this George Clinton video. That would be
Right.
the perfect thing to do with this guy. And of course, once I mentioned it to him, he's a George Clinton fan, and so he was super excited about it. And it just really snowballed from there. It just seemed like a perfect fit, and we just working with him was super great, and we're just couldn't be more happy about the finished product. It's a great, it's my favorite video that we have out, definitely.
Oh yeah, it's a dope video. The video is absolutely dope. I love how it's put together. It, like I said, is very catchy. You can't, and besides the lyrics and the song itself, just the visuals are stunning. You guys did a really great job with that. You guys also, you can get automatic burning bridges. There's what I think 10 songs on this album.
Have you
Do you want
seen
to?
the video for Borrowed Time, the one that we did the
Yes, I have
blockbuster?
actually. Yes, I did. I saw the video for Borrowed
That's another
Time.
one of my favorite videos of ours. It's kind of like a little mini
Okay.
movie, little mini Western movie.
Yes, that there's a I love Automatic, that song. I love that video. Borrowed Time, I was listening to that actually when you came in. Yes, I've definitely been looking at a lot of your videos. Like you said, you're very eclectic. I mean, um, you being on the road. Let's talk about that. Every time I go across your Instagram, you're always somewhere. How is it being on the road all the time? Like the whole band traveling. How is that for you?
I mean,
You
I've
work
been
a
doing it for
lot.
quite a long time, so I feel like I like to believe that I've got it down to a science by now.
Yeah.
But we try to really include like doing fun things while we're on the road. What keeps us all sane and keeps everybody happy and engaged in doing what we're doing is that we have fun together, and we'll have nights where we'll just all like cook dishes, like you cook this, I'll cook that, we'll cook this, and we all come together with our meals. We do things that just kind of connect us outside of the music as
Right.
well as with the music. And I'm really into outdoorsy stuff and taking my band members on adventures, and some of them might be not be as outdoorsy as I am, so I like to get some of them out of their shell a little bit and get them out of their comfort zone. And usually they're thanking me afterwards. Not always, but usually.
It's like, I was talking to an artist. His name is Affiliato, and he was talking about the anxiety that goes into performing, and you kind of get you have he would talk about having little anxiety attacks or and a lot of artists talk about that. I know you've been doing this for a long time, but do you still go through that where before you go on stage you have a little? Do you ever get nervous? Do you go through anxiety?
I don't have
Yeah,
anxiety of playing. No, I've had some really big like shows that I don't know if I would say it was anxiety. I had moments of just like just like emotion hitting me
yeah, okay,
to where it took my breath away. But I
yeah,
wouldn't call it anxiety.
okay.
It was
Maybe
all
that's the wrong
it
word.
was like it felt like I was gonna cry, happy,
Okay,
cry at this all at the same time. And
okay.
that was a moment when we walked out on stage opening up for ZZ Top, and it was just like a
Oh,
huge crowd, and they just all went crazy like we were ZZ Top when we walked out. And I was just
tell me
like,
about that. Listen, I
I was
grew
like,
up
how did
listening to
what?
ZZ Top, love
Huh?
ZZ Top. How was that? First of all, meeting them and being on stage like that. Come on, ZZ Top.
Yeah, another one of like legendary artists that I grew up
Yes.
listening to for sure. And funny thing about it is that when we made that video you brought up, Automatic,
Mhm.
I was kind of like an ode to ZZ Top. I don't know if you got that, but
Yeah, with the yeah, I could see that with the girls and the car. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
it was very much kind of like I was like it was. I actually came up with that whole video. I've
I
directed
love
that
that.
video, and I came up with all the sequences and put that whole thing together myself.
Nice.
Think
Nice.
with it like with the idea of I want to make an old school kind of ZZ Top kind of
Okay.
like video,
Okay.
and so we made that video, and soon after that, making that video, found out that we were going to open for ZZ Top. So it
Wow.
was very very coincidental how it all worked out. But I've always loved Billy Gibbons as a guitar player,
Okay.
and when the opportunity came, I can obviously we're ecstatic to be there. Opening up for them was
Right.
a
Right.
definite bucket list.
I definitely get that. My little sister and I, we loved '80s music. Grew up in the '80s, but we loved a lot of rock music, and just from where we lived, and just being that we had a musical household, so everything was played. But I remember when we saw ZZ Top for the first time on MTV. I think it was "Give Me All Your Love and All Your Hug and Kisses Too," and and in every video that ZZ Top did. For you guys that don't know ZZ Top. You have three guys, the beards, the nice cars behind them, and the three ladies. And in every video that they come out with, it was always pretty much that. That was their thing, and that's what
Yeah,
they
yeah.
did.
They
Yeah,
always
that
had
was
like some
always.
male that they made cool, and like in the
Yeah.
end of he got the girls at the end of the video. Or
Right. Yes, very. Yeah, that's right. And they'd walk off with the girls, put them in their nice old, they look like a rat. What do you call the old, I can't think of the cars. Anyways, that was the core of their videos. You guys can go back, check out ZZ Top. You know exactly what I mean. They're a timeless group. I mean, if you don't know them, you will fall in love with them. Okay, so go check out ZZ Top. You do covers as well, right?
Yeah, we do some covers. I
Okay.
mean, we just did our last big tour that we did was with Star Child Jr. of Parliament Funkadelic, and we were
Okay.
playing like five Parliament Funkadelic songs. But I guess I'm not sure if you still call it a cover when you have the actual singer of the band in your
No, I
band
know that's
singing the
yeah.
song.
That's not no that I, no. I've gone and seen cover bands and they're a band and the people that made the original songs are not there. So I wouldn't say that's a cover though. That's not quite a cover. Not if they're there. How do you? I mean, how do you come across the people that you bucket list people? I mean, same circles.
This is something that we just started doing, and it's going to continue. Like, he had a great time playing with us. We're gonna continue to do more touring with Star Child Jr. of Funkadelic. So that look out for more dates with him probably next fall and maybe again next spring. So we had a great time playing with him. He had a great time playing with us. We tend to do more touring with him for sure. This is
Okay.
going to be a fun collaboration that we're going to keep going.
So I want to ask you this question. How do you stay true to yourself in the music industry when it's so demanding and is forever changing and to reach newer audience? How do you stay true to what you do to bring in that new audience or appeal to, new people?
Um, I think that honestly, nowadays, I think people really crave authenticity, and I just try to keep myself authentic with everything that I do, and I try to like please myself artistically first,
Okay.
and then I'm hoping that like through that, because I'm kind of a perfectionist,
Okay.
and so if I'm pleasing myself artistically, then I think that I'm giving out a good enough product for you guys to enjoy as well. If that
Okay.
makes sense.
That makes sense. I have this really unique question that I've been thinking about and I want to ask you. And this is like a visual. If your music could be a painting, what would it be like and why?
Mm.
I know, right?
It's funny because my dad was a great musician and also a really good painter. And for some reason, I guess I just didn't get that gene because I am not a good artist when it comes to painting. I do a lot of our posters, so I feel like I'm pretty good at I have a good eye at like putting together graphic design stuff and like visually putting things together. But as far as like physically being with putting the pen or the
Right.
brush to the paper, I
Right.
am no good. I am no good. But if if my music was a painting and I didn't have to use a brush, I think that I think it would be a little avant-garde,
Okay. Okay.
and I think that it would be really thick strokes and
Okay.
thick colors,
Okay.
and a lot of paint.
I can I can already I already feel that from you. I can definitely see that. Okay. You've been in this. How long have you been in the music industry though? How long have you been doing this?
Um, so I
Like
started my first
professionally.
band. Uh, my first band I started was in high school. So yeah, been doing it for
Nice. Nice.
quite a long since I was a little, and I
Nice.
started piano first, and once I was in middle school, I started to play guitar
Okay.
because piano was what my grandfather and my dad played.
Okay.
So I was like, I want to play guitar. I want to do something different than you guys. Piano's lame. And then like once I got into college, I came back to piano and started playing a lot of piano actually. And now I do a lot of writing on piano, and I play a few songs throughout the night sometimes. And in our band set, sometimes I'll jump on the piano and I'll play a couple songs on piano. I love playing keyboards.
Okay.
And I've had some people, it's funny, like tell me like, "Oh, I really love it when you play keys," and I was like, "But I'm a better guitar player."
Would you say that piano is your favorite musical instrument that you like to play, or is it your guitar?
I'm definitely more fluent with guitar.
Okay.
Piano, I can play piano, and I feel like I have to I can figure things out and rehearse them and make them sound good.
Okay.
As opposed to guitar, I could probably just off top of my head make something sound good. If that makes
Okay.
sense. You know what I mean? I
Okay.
can play what I hear out of my head instantly with the
Wow.
guitar. With piano, I kind of got to work it out a little bit, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
Okay.
Piano, it's like, or guitar is just like almost like it's plugged directly into my brain, and whatever my brain wants to think, I
Right.
can produce it.
Right.
And so that's my connection with the guitar at this point.
Okay.
Piano, I don't feel like that quite that
Okay.
prolific with it,
Okay.
but
Let me ask you this. Go ahead.
I do feel like a different style of writing comes out when I write on piano, as if when I write on guitar, it's like a whole different thing. So it's
Like,
kind of
what do you
fun.
mean? Like, what's the difference for you with both?
It's just you write completely differently on piano than on guitar. You know, you have your same kind of chords that you're used to playing
Okay.
or whatever, and on guitar and your rhythms and stuff like that. But when you have your fingers, not strumming, you're doing different.
Okay.
It's just you're able to get more percussive or syncopated rhythms
Okay.
happening and different things happening because with the keyboard you press one thing, one
Okay.
finger can make a note, as opposed to a guitar you have to hit this and press
Okay.
this, so two
Okay.
things are
Right.
needed.
Right. Right. Right.
With piano now you have so much more percussive and
Okay.
notes that you can do, so
Okay.
it's just it's a little more vast
Okay.
when you're writing with piano, and it's also
Okay.
easier to accompany yourself. Say do a little bass line and play some chords.
Right.
As of guitar, I'm no Charlie Hunter. I can't play a bass line and do a
Okay.
guitar lead at the same time. But
Okay.
there are guys that can do it, but
Okay.
I'm not quite
Okay.
there.
If I ask you, okay, what are you listening to right now? Who are you feeling right now? What do you listen to? Your downtime, cooking.
Um, I have been listening to a lot of Leon Bridges, a lot
Okay.
of Anderson .Paak.
Okay.
I really like the project he did with Bruno Mars, the Silk Sonic.
Okay.
I thought
Okay.
that was an amazing
Nice.
record.
Nice.
Really love that record. Brittany Howard, I think, is
Okay.
like one of my all-time favorite vocalists of all times.
Okay.
I think she's just so incredible. I love her new record. I also never get tired of listening to Sound and Color from the
Okay.
Alabama Shakes. That's
Okay.
like one of my Desert Island records.
Okay. Okay. Um, I want to talk about Colleen Shannon because you guys were recently in the studio working together. Can you tell me about that relationship? She does. I love her music. I love what she does. I mean, she's played at celebrity birthday parties, Paris Hilton. She's at DJ
Yep.
Colleen Shannon was on the show. You guys. She's a former Playmate. She was on the 50th anniversary edition of Playboy magazine. She's an actress. She's a writer. She's a designer. She does a lot of things. She wears many hats, but she's really good at as a DJ, and so this is her thing. She's amazing. How did you
Yeah.
two come to get together, work in a studio? Because are you working on a
Yeah.
project for
We're
her?
working together on a few tracks right now for sure. And
Okay,
I've done stuff with DJs in the past. I've
okay,
also I've been invited to like basically play live
Wow.
while a DJ's performing his set, playing
Really?
guitar live along to, and just kind of I've a really good ear. I have what's called relative pitch. It's not perfect pitch. I can't like completely like if you play a note, I can't tell you exactly
Yeah.
what that note is, but I can relatively figure out notes from if you give me a bass of what key you're in. If I know what key you're in, then I can figure out what the different notes are. So I'm able to fastly listen to things when they change keys and just kind of play along with the DJ.
Nice.
Done this several times. Super fun. It's kind of like a fun exercise to kind of like challenge yourself when they're
Right.
dropping different records and different beats and
Yes.
different things on you, and you got to just follow along with their changes and know when they're going to drop and when they're going to come
Love
back. And so it's a whole different animal, and I love doing different stuff like that. And I have created also tracks and worked in the studio with some different producers as well. So we're working together right now on creating a few different tracks,
Nice.
incorporating live music and electronic music together, which
Nice.
I think is, uh, I think, I think to me that's my favorite kind of electronic music is when you're meshing the two together.
Okay.
So I'm stoked to be a part of that project with her.
I'm looking forward to hearing that project with her. Multi-talented. You guys can go back and catch the interview with celebrity DJ Colleen Shannon, the beautiful DJ Colleen Shannon. You guys can go and watch the interview. She's absolutely amazing. Just a great soul. You guys would really enjoy her. So before we got on here, we're talking about things that you do in your downtime. You like being outside. You like to what would you say, hike or just be in nature, period. You're just that.
I'm an avid snowboarder. I was actually professional rider right out of high school for a little bit.
Wow.
And then I also rock climb. I've been a river raft. I've been a whitewater rafting guy since I was 17. Um, Backpacker, uh, cross country skiing,
Really?
backcountry snowboarding. Yeah,
Wow.
a lot of outdoors, a lot of outdoor stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And congrats on all that. I mean, I didn't know at all. I think that's dope. That's amazing. You win at everything you do. You seem like are you just that type to where okay, I want to try this, I'm going to do this, and you excel at everything that you seem to do. I mean,
I mean, I kind of have the mentality that if it's not, if it's worth doing, it's worth doing, right?
right. I love that. Okay, okay. I knew this was gonna be great. Let me see. You yeah, I just knew it. Okay. Movies. Okay. You describe yourself as, guitar hero, comic book character. Are you a movie
I
person?
didn't write that, but I was described as that. Yes,
Okay. Do
I didn't
you
write
agree
that.
with that description though?
I thought it was great. That's why we used
I
it.
thought so
It was
too.
actually that was that was written by Tyler Blue from the Crazy Horse Saloon when he was writing some descriptions for our band playing there, and then we said, "Hey, that's a great
Oh,
description. Can we use that in our bio?" And he said, "Yeah, sure." And
okay.
so we used a piece of what he wrote and a piece of
Okay.
another writer wrote, and
Okay.
it just kind of came from a few different. That bio came from a few different
Okay.
people contributing to the writing of it, but it was all things that like we're like, oh, that sounds great. That sounds great. Let's piece this
Right.
together. And I definitely it's not anything that I haven't heard before. A lot of people say that I look like a cartoon character on stage because I get so enveloped in the music that I kind of like
Right.
lose myself a little bit,
Right.
and not it's it, it's part of my part of my method of getting to that. I guess what you say is that sweet spot where you're just kind of in the zone and
Right.
letting the cosmos kind of flow through you,
Okay.
and that's when I feel like the music is at its highest.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I have to say, with the description though, I read that after I saw the Killing It video. So when I read that description and after watching some of your shows, I thought that was I'm thinking you wrote that. I'm like, wow, he described himself perfectly. That's exactly how I feel that he is, just with the graphics. I mean, this here. Let me
That
put
was
this
written.
up for
See
you
that
guys.
the bio was written before the video.
Was it really? Well,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
bio, I found the
yeah.
bio and I saw that video, and I have to say that this here, I love that. I love that. So seeing that there, see, yeah, there you go. So it matches. It's like I feel that from you. Let me not let me keep your
Well, let me tell you a
yes.
little backstory on the video. I've been wanting to have something like that for a while since I saw um, sound. What was it called? It was a Netflix Sound and Fury, Sound and Fury video on Netflix, and it was all music and all animation, and it kind of had like the Cowboy Bebop
Okay.
kind of vibe, and I was just like, where do we get this done? I was just like, how do you find the person to do this? And it's funny because I didn't I'd kind of forgotten about it and then found Mac, and it was just, I later on realized, I was like, wow, I found the guy. Like after it was all said and done,
Okay.
I was just like, you know what? I totally willed this into like existence because when I first saw this years ago, I was like, I need this. I need
Right.
something like this. Like
Right.
we need a video like that.
When you
And
going
the
back to
one
the
I'm
video
speaking of,
though,
the Sound and
go
Fury,
ahead.
it's Sturgill Simpson. I don't know if you've seen it before, but I
Which one?
highly, it's, you know who Sturgill Simpson is?
No, who is that?
He's like
Maybe I know his music, but
he's
I
kind
don't
of
know
a
the name.
country artist, but he's really, he stretches the bounds of country for sure. He's
Okay.
kind of got, I mean, the Sound and Fury especially, it has like, it's got moments where it could be like a Pink Floyd album almost.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. I wanted to look him up really quick. Okay. Make sure.
Yeah, he's big now. But when he put
He's
this out,
huge.
he is huge now. But when he
Oh
put this
yeah.
out, he wasn't. He wasn't that big when this first came out. The Sound and Fury
Wow.
thing. I had barely even heard of him when I first
Wow.
saw this. My little
Okay.
brother actually is the one who turned me on to it. He's like, "Oh, have you seen this?" And I was like, "No, but this is amazing."
When you got done with the Killing It video, when you saw it, do you watch it a lot? Because I find myself it's in my watch list, so it's constantly on, or I'm listening to it while I'm vacuuming.
I don't tend to watch my own videos that much. I watch them a few times, then I'm done watching
Really?
it.
You know,
Yeah.
a lot of actors, I have to say, a lot of actors, and me as an actress, I have not seen a lot of the short films that I was in because I feel like I picked the performance apart, or it's like a move on thing. Like I've seen and it's done, I move on. So I haven't seen a lot. Do you have that? Because a lot of artists have that where I have a friend that's an actor that doesn't like to hear his voice on the screen, or
I think
won't.
that I do like to move on to the next project.
Okay,
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm always constantly wanting to. It's My brain is always like, okay, what's next? Like,
okay,
it's
I get that.
it. Yeah, I'm always wanting to create more. I always want to
Okay,
create more, and so instead of like sitting there just watching this, go, this is a really cool video that I made. Yeah, like instead of like sitting on the couch and just watching that like 10 times, I would rather like think about what I wanted, what we're making next.
right. I love that you say that because I tend to do that. I remember a friend of mine was like, "Why don't you revel in some of the wins that you have, like some of the things that you've done already?" And for me, it's like I like to think about, okay, what's next? Okay, how am I going to top this? And now, what am I going to do next? And I'm always thinking about
one
how
Hundred
can I
percent.
do better and what's going on next. Leave that behind. That was great. So thankful for it. But now I have to top that.
Yeah, I definitely want to make marks with what I'm doing, and I'm not at all satisfied with where I'm at. And people are always
Yeah.
kind of like around me, friends that are around me, seeing how far I've come,
Right.
look at that as a huge win for the
Right.
people that I'm working with. But for me, I'm still like, I want so much more for my music and for what I'm doing, and I want to really achieve a lot more than this. And this is just the just I'm just reaching some of the bottom rungs
Right.
that I feel like are going to get me to where I really want to get. But
Right.
I am grateful for reaching these rungs that I am at.
Right.
100%. Like I'm so grateful for getting the opportunities that I've been offered,
Right.
and I'm just going to continue to work hard and try to keep rising further.
Right. As an artist, what do you want your legacy to be?
I want to just leave a catalog of interesting, eclectic, and music that like keeps you guessing,
Right.
and it's never like all, oh, we expected him to write something like this. Like
Okay.
I don't. I want to
Okay.
keep it ever changing, I guess.
Right. Right. You want to talk about any upcoming shows that you have? What can we expect from Lantz Lazwell?
Well, Sacramento, I've got a show coming up for you, Sacramento. We're
Hey,
gonna be
Sac.
at the Cafe Colonial, which is kind of a newer venue that they're putting a bunch of money into. The people that were doing Harlow's and people that were doing
Okay.
uh, what was it, Ace of Spades. They're
Okay.
putting together a whole new kind of venue there,
Nice.
Cafe Colonial, off Stockton Boulevard.
Okay.
It's right next to the Colonial Theater, basically a part of the same building as the old Colonial Theater. If anybody remembers that spot, they're also going to be upgrading the Colonial Theaters pretty soon too. But first they're just kind of worked on the cafe first, and then they're moving into redoing the theater as well. So yeah, the 23rd of May, we are playing with 10-Foot Tiger, who's another great Sacramento band.
Okay.
And also there's the Golden Road Gathering, which is happening this weekend,
Okay.
which I'm going to be sitting in with Boca de Rio and with Suika T, really good friends of mine who are amazing world music bands. Suika T does cumbia, and Boca de Rio does like kind of Brazilian funk. They're both just such fun, great bands, and can't wait to sit in and just have a great time with them at the festival this Saturday and Sunday at El Dorado County Fairgrounds up in Placerville.
Yes.
They've got like Dirt Wire, they've got Thievery Corporation, they've got like some really big names at this festival.
Okay.
This Saturday, it starts Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but we're playing with Object Heavy, who's an amazing soul funk band from Humboldt County. We're playing with them at the Boom Boom Room.
Okay. Oh.
In San Francisco on Friday. So I won't be at the festival Friday, but the festival is happening Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the El Dorado County Fairgrounds in Placerville. That's the Golden Road Gathering.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like I said, the Cafe Colonial on the 23rd, Friday, May 23rd.
Okay.
Those are
Very
our
good.
upcoming kind of Sacramento area shows that we've got going on.
So what's up, Sacramento? You guys know we love our music here in Sacramento. And just to let you guys know, Rossie McCree, I'm a Sacramento podcaster. It's a Sacramento-based podcast, and I interview in all areas of entertainment. You guys, I've been waiting to get Mr. Lantz Lazwell on the show, and we were talking about wanting to do better, better, better. And I feel like you got me at that. I hit that, and now I'm gonna, find more great artists. I really appreciate you coming on to the show. Don't leave, though. You guys, Sacramento's doing great things. There's so much going on in our community here, and it continues to grow. I mean, goodness, guys, we have the Sacramento A's now. We are huge in the artistic community. So thanks to all of you guys that support, that loves Rossie's Clubhouse, that shares Rossie's Clubhouse. Please subscribe, like the video. This episode will drop soon, guys, and you'll also be able to hear Lantz Lazwell's interview with me while you're driving home. Wherever you listen to your podcast at, pull it up, and you can listen to Rossie's Clubhouse. I really appreciate you coming on, and shout out to DJ Colleen Shannon. Thank you so much. You, of course, yeah. You are
I really
absolutely
want to
right. Thank you.
thank all of Sacramento, all of you that do show up for shows and do help continue to make the music scene happen. But I do want to say a little call for action for you that don't come out. If you want to continue to see more culture and more art in your area, you have to come out and support it
Yes.
to make it viable for these artists and musicians to be in your town.
Right.
Because I just came from New Orleans, Louisiana, and that's one of the most art and culture and music city that I've ever been to in my entire life. And I've traveled to every major city in the United States, and it's by
Wow.
far beyond the most artistic and cultured and just full of music city that I've ever seen. And the reason why it's like that is because of the support that it gets from its community. So if you do want to see that kind of art and culture thrive and survive in your community, then you got to get out there and support it, and
Absolutely.
and help these events become
Yes.
bigger and bigger,
Yes.
and get out there and just love and get to know your neighbors and your community, because
Yes.
that's, if you're just sitting here on the internet watching this interview, that's a great start, but
Right.
it takes a little more than that. And
Yes.
the internet's not everything. We gotta get out in real
Yes.
life and
Right.
IRL, and have a little bit of have a whatever, your mocktail, a water, a
Yes.
beer, whatever you want to have. Like, let's just cheers each other and
Absolutely.
celebrate life and music and
Yes.
art
And
and culture.
I absolutely, and I want to piggyback off of that. There is so much here in Sacramento. There's so much talent here in Sacramento.
Hundred
Bands,
percent.
whatever whoever you're into, whatever genre of music that you listen to, you will find it in Sacramento. You do have to get out and support these artists, okay? Because a lot of them are not getting a lot of love and they're not getting seen a lot. And I want to say that
I've
was a
been to a lot of
huge,
shows that should have
yes,
a lot more support than they have, and it's
absolutely.
sometimes sad to see such an amazing show happening and it being like
Right.
only like 10, 15 people there.
Right.
And
Yes.
yeah, get out there,
I
guys.
agree
Get
with
out
that.
there and support it. And also, you can stream my record on any streaming platform.
Yes.
Counterclockwise is on every streaming platform: YouTube Music, Apple, uh, Spotify. But we don't talk about Spotify.
You know, you're not the only artist that told me about Spotify. Yes, you can iTunes, you guys everywhere. You can and all of Lance's information will be in the description of the video. It'll take you back to his website, his YouTube, and from there you can go and stream his music, buy his music. It is absolutely good time. This is a legend that we're talking to right now, who has played with legends that, himself, and like you said, can't be a cover band if the artist is there. Okay, so we don't even want to put him in that category, but absolute talent. I want to tell you a story really quick though. So I was I do I part-time work in animation, toymation in a company here in Sacramento. So I'm on set and I work with a lot of talented people there. There's a young man, he's in a band here in Sacramento. He's toured all over the world, and he's like, he knew that you were supposed to come on the show, and he's like, "Who's Lantz Lazwell?" And he looks you up, and he's like, "Oh wow, Ross." Oh, and my friends following him. Oh, and my other buddies following him. Oh, and my other buddies following him. You are so well known and loved here in Sacramento. I must say, everyone knows who you are. So I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to come and sit with me. And to all of those that was waiting for this interview, it is definitely going to drop soon. Thank you so
It's been a
much. It was
pleasure.
such a pleasure to meet you. Pamela, thank you so much. Again, I appreciate you've been great. And
Shout
I
out
appreciate
to
that. Yes.
Pamela. Shout out
Yes.
to Pamela from Bisslist. She's my
Yes.
manager, and you should check out bisslist.com. She has all the info on those shows we were telling you about that are really amazing
Yes.
in the area. She not only she's got her finger on the pulse in San Francisco, but it's growing now to Sacramento, Chico, Nevada City.
Right.
She's promoting shows all over the place now. You can check that
Yes.
out, bisslist.com.
Yes.
Uh, and yeah, it's amazing to talk with you. Please,
Thank
everybody
you.
out there, go check out Killing It on
Yes.
YouTube. It's
Yes.
Lazwell Killing It, featuring George Clinton, none other than George Clinton from Parliament Funkadelic. He's in
Right.
the video. He's on the song.
Right.
Also, like you mentioned, George Norwood Fisher from Fishbones on bass.
Yeah.
We got the drummer from uh, Jane's Addiction, Stephen
Yes.
Perkins.
Yep.
And then we also have Eric McFadden And
Yes.
also, I don't know if we mentioned Tracy Clinton, also, who's George's son. He's also pretty much singing on the whole song with me.
Is he? No, we did not mention that. So we would, if we want to show him love, absolutely.
Yeah, Tracy
Yes,
Clinton
you
is
guys.
a big piece of that song.
Okay, yeah, definitely want to give him love. And yeah, you guys check out Killing It. It will be in the description of the video. You can follow Mr. Lantz Lazwell and go to the shows, you guys. He's here in Sacramento. You guys, you can't miss him, all right? You don't go
Thank
anywhere,
you.
Mr.
Thank
Laswell.
you
All
so
right. You
much.
stay right there. Don't go anywhere. You guys, again, Rossie's Clubhouse. Thank you so much. Let's see. We have an array of shows coming up for you. I still have that Payday 916 interview that's coming out, you guys. And Sanai, it will be coming on the show. We will be seeing a lot more artists that you guys know and love will be here on Rossie's Clubhouse, you guys. And we have Brooklyn in the house, guys, in July. All right. So, Zoskrilla, can't wait to talk to you, my guy. All right, you guys, we are out, and let's end the show, you guys.